Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Anza Football on KDON, the Anza Dons Television Network. We're live and it's Friday night under the lights. I'm Gill along with my co-host Jonathan Brown, and we're getting ready for another Friday night of high school football as your Anza Dons take on the Indians of John Swett High School. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for yet another Friday night of football. Anza is fired up, ready to go. I talked to Coach before the game. He gave me some keys to the game. Looks like they're going to keep it simple. They're going to pound the run game. They're going to try and get to their fast backs on the outside. Jonathan, did you talk to John Swett? What did they tell you about the keys to the game for Swett?
The keys to John Swett are to making sure that Anza is not able to run the ball. If they set the edge, they can win the game. It's that simple.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about 11 minutes here on the clock from game time. Just a quick couple of minutes here as the band gets set up. Anza going through their last little bit of warm-up, and we're going to talk about where they are in the standings. If they win this game, they will be going into the playoff round, and they'll be seeded where, Jonathan?
They will be seeded number 1 in league. This game will be the game that will put Anza into the runnings. For playoffs.
All right, so we are just about ready set up for football here.
So looking at this game, everybody, we have very interesting stats on both teams. Anza coming off a 2-win winning streak, which is unheard of for the team in the last few years. And this will be the first home game that they win if they win it this season. John Swett, on the other hand, coming in undefeated, number 1 in league, trying to keep on to their title and go to the playoffs. This is going to be a really interesting game tonight, folks, and I hope everybody's tuned in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just about ready to go here. 10:42 remaining on the clock. So it looks like they're going to have number 2 behind center, James Carter. And they also have on their roster Richard Kirbyson, 6'3", 175, sophomore. Big kid, number 31, Kirbyson.
Starting tailback, we have
looks like tailback is going to be number 33, Gaston Campos. Also, number 24, Jordan Paints Green.
And then we have Dion Demby, number 68, coming in for his first fullback start of the season.
And it looks like they are just about ready for the warm-up. We will be back right after these messages for the coin toss. We'll see you back here in a minute on the Anza Dons Television Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back just about ready for football here. The Anza band getting ready to take the field and getting ready to give us our national anthem. Jonathan, great night for football tonight, wouldn't you say?
It's a great night for football. Everybody loves the games right before playoffs. Both of these teams are real hungry, coming in for the win, trying to get that number 1 title for league.
Absolutely. Anza definitely in the mix for playoffs as they look to take the Indians down. Indians looking to prevent Anza's playoff hopes. I think, if I believe correctly, both teams are scheduled for playoffs. However, seeding is at place in this particular contest. Correct, Jonathan?
That is correct. Anza number 2 and John Swett number 1.
So the number 1 seed here in effect on this beautiful Halloween evening. It looks like the rain held off raining earlier in the day. Looks like the rain gods have decided to let us play a little bit of football tonight.
Good Lord, hallelujah, amen.
All right, we're going to wait patiently here for the Anza marching band to come on out and allow us to honor our country by the playing of the national anthem. We'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors, the West Contra Costa Unified School District. We'd like to thank all of our faculty and staff here at Anza High, Mr. Evans, Mrs. Fields, Mr. Irizarry, Ms. Gonzalez, all of the administrators and staff at De Anza, Miss Miller, and also Mr. Gill, myself in the Tech Academy, also all of the teachers here at De Anza who do a great job to make sure that these student athletes are ready to play.
And tonight will be just, as we have already said, tonight's just looking to be one heck of a game. With seed rankings in place, I mean, who knows how far De Anza has gone. We haven't had a 2-game winning streak since the early 2000s. It's been a long time. So everybody should be real excited to be a part of this winning team here.
That is correct. And actually, the girls volleyball team last night won their first round playoff game. So they will be going to the semifinals of the TCAL Championship, looking to play at Hercules on Tuesday evening. We will carry that game live on De Anza Television Network. That game will be streamed using High School Cube. You can check us out at www.highschoolcube.com/DA Dons. That's DADONS. You can also catch our broadcasts like this one, tape delayed, on our YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube and search for DAHS Media, and you'll be able to see all of this season's football games as well as basketball, and all events that happen at De Anza of importance will be covered by our very, very talented video production team here at De Anza High School.
Also, everybody needs to take a look at DA Weekly at the same YouTube page, where we talk about all of the latest news at De Anza on campus and off campus and around campus. It's a really good program, and everybody should go ahead and check it out.
All right, we're just getting set for the De Anza band. De Anza band getting ready to take the field. So De Anza looking to really use the offense. They have some weapons on the offensive side of the ball, especially their wide receivers and tailbacks. They have a lot of speed, and Coach Gaskell is looking to exploit that. What do you think the Indians defense are looking to kind of stop that from happening?
The Indians defense are looking for a fast defensive lineman plays, as well as very, very, very meticulous secondary. Without those two, the Indians cannot stop the De Anza Dons offense. Our team is too fast to be stopped without those essential key parts. And on offense, the Indians will need to have a very fast or a very strong team, one of the two, to put the De Anza Dons back, considering the amount of depth at the defensive lineman chart going on. This is going to be a very, very interesting lineup, and we're very excited to see how this game is going to turn out.
That's right, Jonathan, and it looks like they are ready for the coin toss as the captains walk out to the field.
Go, James, I love you.
Captains are walking out to the field. For De Anza, it's number 2, James Carter, number 11. Let's see, number 11 isn't, oh, yes, he is, Tariq James. And we also have number 85, Markel Witten, a senior. And also number 79. Number 79 isn't listed on my roster here. Manu. The De Anza band able to take the center of the field. And at this time, we will allow them to take over as they play our national anthem. The De Anza band with our national anthem. And ladies and gentlemen, as you heard in the ambient audio there, Diaz is fighting and raring to go with Ariel Vega saying, let's go, let's get it started. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are seconds away from kickoff here on the Anza Dons television network. We're going to be right back after these quick messages for the kickoff. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back on the Anza High School campus where we are able to get started here. We are going to get started just ready for the kickoff. And we are ready for the kickoff. We are here live on the Anza High campus. And here's the kickoff. Kickoff goes deep into territory taken by John Swett at about the 15-yard line. Number 17 tries to break a tackle, and he's going to be brought down right about the 29-yard line.
By number 22, Rito Gomez.
Gomez in on the tackle there. And the Indians will start 1st and 10. And it looks like the ball spot is going to be at the 29-yard line. So 1st and 10 at the Anza 29 for the Indians. Anza stacking the line. Shotgun drops back to pass number 2. Looking for time. Plenty of time. Goes downfield. Incomplete. Number 11, Tariq James in on the play. Tariq James in on the play there. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for Swett. Second and 10 for Swett.
Looking like a pistol formation for the Indians, and they run the ball. He's coming up the sideline. Anza's moving out, and he's tackled for a loss.
Great defense there by the Anza front line, able to get around and prevent the gain there. And it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Indians. Anza would really like to get a 3 and out here.
Don't even worry about it.
And it looks like a timeout has been called by Anza. Their first timeout. You know, I have had a chance to be around the Anza football program for a number of years now, and I will say, Jonathan, they are doing really well this year. Kids are really focused. Carter and some of the other seniors, Tariq James, Gaston Campos, they're really looking to kind of get things started here and put a mark on Anza football.
That is very true, Mr. Gill. It's been a long time since Anza hasn't had a winning season. And we've really been looking to change that as a program here at the high school.
And 3rd and long for the Indians here. Shotgun formation, and they try and run out of the shotgun.
Quarterback is running. He throws the ball.
And it's going to be a catch by number 10. It's going to be well short of the first down, however.
Looking like about a 4th down and 7. We'll see what the Indians decide to do.
Almost assuredly a punt coming up here. Looking for the punt team to come out on the field.
You know, you really got to watch out for trick plays in games like this. When everything's on the line, coaches get really crazy. And it looks like the punting team is coming out. seems to be a bit of a discussion going on between the referees on the field. And everybody is dropping down into playing formation. The ball is snapped.
And here's the punt. Punt
kicks
goes
it.
up.
The ball is
And
returning back. And John Swett's going to stop the ball at right around the 50-yard line.
And that's where the Dons will start. Sorry about that, Jonathan. And that's where the Dons will start their first defensive possession. I'm sorry, first offensive possession. Peace, stay wide and stay still. And it looks like James Carter in the backfield. And the handoff goes to,
And it looks like James Carter smacked right along the 49-yard line.
And Carter looked like Carter lost his footing there. Wasn't quite able to get his footing. Looks like he slipped a little bit, taken down in behind the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a second and roughly 12 for the Dons.
Really interesting. Looks like we have Markel Winton, a star defensive player, starting at quarterback tonight instead of Richard Curbison.
And Markel hands the ball off, and
what would you call that spot, Mr. Gill?
It looks like they're going to spot it right at about the 47-yard line. So that's going to bring up 3rd and about 8 for the Dons. Yep, they spot it right at the 48. So 3rd and roughly about 7 for the Dons. Witten under center. And
Jumbo
he's
set
going to drop
formation.
back.
He's out
rolling
in the back.
right. Going
We
to
have a
decide to
receiver
keep
open
it.
in the backfield.
Running into
And
some
he's-
trouble, and he's going to be brought
he's
down
hit
right at the
down
45. He's going to be brought down right at about the 45, and that's going to be 4th and right about 10 for the Dons.
Interestingly enough, the referees have thrown a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is.
And it's going to be against Swett.
Looks like we have a holding on one of the defensive linemen.
It looks like Coach Gaskell is still going to send the punt team out there.
Like I said again, in these types of games, you really have to watch out for the trick plays. We have no idea what's going in with any of the head coach's minds. Everybody in the stands would just love to see the kicker run up the sideline for a first down.
And here we go. The Dons back to punt. And the snap. The punt is up and shake and shovel and wobble, and it's going to go out of bounds right at about the 35, 34-yard line, and that's where the Indians are going to take over. Not a very good punt, only about a 25-yard punt there. But both teams unsuccessful on their first offensive series, and the score remains 0-0 with 8:21 remaining in the first quarter.
It's crazy to see how hard these teams are fighting for this win. If this game goes on like this, both of these teams are in for a real long night.
Hopefully the Dons are able to get another defensive stop and get a second chance to try to kind of kick off their offense as the Indians come up to the line of scrimmage at about the 36-yard line, 35, excuse me. And their quarterback is in a shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Number 2 hands off to the tailback. Tailback goes to the right side and is able to pick up about a yard, yard and a half. That'll bring up 2nd and about 8 for the Indians.
Real small game. Looks like Swett's going to be attempting to run the ball a lot in this. Haven't seen a single pass from them all night.
And here's the snap. Snap goes right up the middle. And he's rumbling and just able to scratch out some yardage, pushed himself forward for about 3. So the Dons are going to set themselves up again for a third down situation. They need to convert this third down and put a defensive stop down so that they get a chance to get the football back. Ball's going to be marked at the 47-yard line. 42-yard line.
Swett coming back up to the ball. And it looks like they're lined in a heavy set again. A single receiver, 2 backs, and a tight end.
And here's the snap.
They run
Snaps handoff, and he's going to go nowhere. Stuffed. I believe there's a flag on the play. Number 79 in on the tackle. Looking to see what the flag might be about. It looks like it's going to be holding against Swett. Almost sure that Coach Gaskell is going to decline that penalty, don't you think, Jonathan?
I'm pretty sure he would. He'd be out of his mind to accept it.
All righty, looks like it's going to be 4th down for the Indians. And it looks like he did accept the penalty, and that backs them up to the 32-yard line.
Let's see what happens.
So it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Indians.
Let's watch this quarterback. Once again, they have lined up in a heavy set. 2 receivers, 2 running backs.
And here's the snap.
Play action pass. He draws out, throws the ball.
And it's going
down
long,
the field.
and somebody down there. And
no
incomplete.
Markel Winton on the breakup.
Number 85, Markel Winton on the breakup there. Denied deep down the field as he had plenty of time to get the football in the air. But no go down the field as Markel Winton able to tip the pass away. Okay, 4th and long for the Indians here, and they are definitely in punt formation. The Dons back to receive the punt at about the 27-yard line. And the punt is up, and it's going to go just short of that, taking at about the 32. And he's got a wedge, and he's got some room, and he's still up, pushed down.
And there's a flag on the play right at about when the kick was kicked.
Rito Gomez on the punt return there. Scrambling for quite a gain. Let's see what the flag turns out to be. And it looks like it's going to be a false start on the offense. And that will help the Dons out. False start offense. And also, okay, so there's offsetting penalties. The penalties will offset.
Looks like
and it looks like they're going to replay 4th down. They are, in fact, going to replay 4th down. So second chance for the Dons here to kind of get set up to run this punt back. See if Rito Gomez can do something again. And here we go. Here's the punt. Punt is up, and this is a sky-high punt. Going to take a Anza bounce, a huge Anza bounce.
And the ball.
Still trying to figure out where the ball is at. It looks like Swett has the ball. A little bit of confusion.
What on earth?
Not quite sure what happened there, but number 40 able to get the John Swett player down. I believe Anza thought that the ball had been touched and it was out of play.
Mr. Gill, did you see one of the Indian players touch the ball?
I did not, but the referee is going to sort it out for us. We're going to try and see what the signals say here.
Looks like a small argument happening in between the referees in the middle of the field.
Zoom in on the ref. Zoom in on the ref.
Both teams confusedly standing, trying to figure out who to call out for the next set of plays. And the penalties against John Swett as the Ball is moved back towards the Anza's end zone.
So wacky fourth down set of conclusions here. Not really quite sure what's going on down there on the field. So a third time, they are going to attempt fourth down. Actually, now we get some clarification, and it is, in fact, John Swett's football.
No, it's the Anza's, Mr. Gill. With a quarterback run, Markel Winton up the sideline. Out at about the 30-yard line.
Little confused there. I apologize. That was a chain of events there, but now we've got it clear. It is now second down and about 7 for the Dons. After a wacky fourth down turn of events here. Markel Winton under center, and he snaps. And James Carter's hit hard in the backfield, able to bounce off and might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but if he did, not much more than that. And that's going to bring third down for the Dons. Now, Jonathan, they're at about the 35-yard line, 33-yard line. A couple more yards. Do you think they might be in field goal range?
I think they are in field goal range. In practice, we've seen Giancarlo kick kicks from about the 45-yard line consistently. So it'll be a real easy decision to put some points on the board if we get up there.
And Markel trying to run to the left.
He's brought down. He turns back around.
Breaks the tackle, goes back to the right side. Great hit by the Swett defenseman because he was going to be gone if that one wasn't going around. And he's able to pick up a few yards. Not quite enough for the first yard, but Winton definitely trying to make himself around the field. Finally able to pick up positive yardage. Almost definitely a sack at first.
And it looks like there might even be a penalty against the Indians right now, as the ball has been moved up even further against the field. The Anza Dons in the jumbo set, looking to run most likely. No receivers on the field. 2 fullbacks and a running back.
And here's the snap. Winton drops back to pass, looking for a tight end, and he's got somebody almost open. Number 49 looking to get the reception there. Mali Amani.
Flag thrown.
Let's see what the flag is.
Looks like wait, is it?
And here we go. And the penalty is against Swett, and it's going to move the ball forward. And I believe that will give the Dons the first down as they're inching closer and closer now inside the red zone. And here's the snap.
Chain gang holding up the game.
Looks like the chain gang is finally in position, so here we go. Whistle comes from the ref. Jumbo set for the Dons. And here's the snap.
Once again, it's a pass play.
Looking
for the tight end. It's up.
He just
and he catches it.
And he has a reception.
Did the referees call it in?
And we're looking to see what the call is going to be. Chain gang hasn't quite moved yet.
And the ball is ruled an incompletion.
And here's the snap. Handoff.
James Carter running people over.
Trying to plow his way through the middle, able to plow his way for about 3 or 4 yards.
Laying the hammer on the Indian defensive lineman. Slow to get up.
And it looks like that's going to, depending on the ball spot, let's see how generous the ball spot is. Not too generous, as it leaves Anza with a long situation.
Jumbo set, 3 tight ends.
And here's the snap.
With a run again, and a flag is thrown.
Flag on the play.
A little bit of chippiness going on after the play.
Let's see what the flag is.
And it's against Anza. Looking for most likely a third and very long.
Well, with the help that they've had from the Indians, even with the third and long, they are within field goal range with the ball sitting right at the 25-yard line. So third and long, coach has got one more chance to try and get into the end zone. And you got to think he's going to try to get 3 points on the board if he's unsuccessful on this try.
Looks like a timeout was called by the Indians.
And that's going to be their first timeout. We'd like to take this time to give a shout out to our Anza marching band under the direction of Mr. Kenneth Caton. Take a minute to listen to them.
Players down in position. Markel into the center. Once again in the jumbo set. He hands off to James Carter. Plowing his way through the... And it looks like a gain of 4 or 5. And the coaches are calling off the field goal unit now. You can see number 81, Giancarlo Ugaz, our starting kicker, waiting to put up the 3 for our Anza Dons.
And here we go. Ugaz back to kick. And here's the snap. Kick is
and
up,
it's a trick
and
play.
it's trick play.
Brought down for a loss.
They weren't. I was fooled on that, but apparently the Indians defense was not, as they are able to see the trick play unfolding. And Ugaz goes down in negative territory behind the line of scrimmage.
Once again, looking like a 0-0 type of game right now. Neither team has scored. However, Anza has had a higher time of possession of the ball on the offensive side of the game. Indians quarterback coming with the play for the huddle. The players are moving out.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians here as they look to capitalize on the missed field goal by Ugaz, the trick play.
Heavy set for the Indians, looking to run the ball most likely. Oh, and it's a quarterback sneak.
And he gets around the corner, but it's hit hard, but it is going to be about an 8-yard gain, 7 or 8 yard gain there. So good yardage there for Swett on first down with the quarterback keeper.
Really one heck of the run for the Indians right there. This may be their first opportunity to get a first down.
Off at the end of almost at the end of the quarter here with about a minute 45 remaining. Still no score here on a Friday night Halloween edition of Anza football. And the Indians here with the ball. 2nd down. Number 2 drops back, hands off to number 4, and he's going to be stuffed right at about the line of scrimmage for no gain.
If everybody listens in closely, we can hear the audience join in a "Let's go DA, let's go" chant.
And here we go. And flags on the play. And it looks like it's going to be a false start on the Indians. That's going to back them up and take them behind the first down marker. So it's going to be second and about 15 for the Indians.
These penalties are really, truly killing the Indians' offense right now.
Penalties are hurting both teams right now, but the Indians deep in their own territory.
Look
and
at the pass.
Shotgun snap. He's back. He tries to get rid of it. And incomplete. Pass incomplete there, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Dons. 3rd and long of coming here for, the Indians. The Don defense able to stay strong as the Indians haven't been able to move the ball all that well. The Dons with one chance inside the 30, which resulted in a Giancarlo Ugas fake field goal, unsuccessful. And the snap, looking back to pass, got plenty of time. He's going to keep it, gets it away, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for number 10.
Pass was broken up by a strong safety, number 38, Khalid.
And that'll bring up 4th down for the Indians. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter. So after one quarter, the score is your Anza Dons 0 and the John Swett Indians 0. We'll be back right after these messages. And ladies and gentlemen, we're back for the second quarter with a score of 0-0, the score between your Anza Dons and the John Swett Indians. No score. The first quarter, the offensive power ended up with a missed fake field goal by Giancarlo Ugas. Indians here on 3rd and long. Quarterback is in the shotgun position. Here's the snap, drop backs the pass. Going deep, intended for number 21, James Carter on the defensive play, and there's a flag, and it most assuredly will be pass interference as he got his hands in just the wrong area, Jonathan.
Man, one heck of a play, but it looks like James Carter messed up a little bit. Just got to stay disciplined on those deep routes. Watch the ball, try to pick it off.
And it is not pass interference.
What do you know?
As they are calling a penalty against the Indians.
Give me that.
So it looks like Carter lucked out there because there was a little bit of contact. Lucked out there, not necessarily seen by the referees.
Guess the refs really just want to let the players play. Looking at a 3rd down situation for the John Swett Indians. 3rd and short.
3rd and about a yard.
And we're looking at a very heavy set.
Anza packing the defensive line. Here's the run up the middle, and he's going to have enough to get the first down.
And a little bit more. Ball down at about the round of 48.
And the Indians will move the chains for the first time in De Anza territory.
Looks like a bit of a defensive depth chart change. 2 of the players coming out, 3 of the players coming out.
And here is the snap. And here's the snap.
Looks like we have a quarterback
number
run.
2 is going to keep it. He's going to try and get to the outside, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds. Out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. 39-yard line, and it looks like that's going to be second down and just a little bit. Second down and about 2, I guess, if I'd have to add it up. 38-yard line, 38 and a half is where they're marking it, where they're going to spot it. So second down and short situation for the Indians as they look to push deeper into the Don's territory. First time they've been there this evening. Not quite field goal range for the Indians as their kicker isn't quite as powerful as Ugas. And they're going to go with a eye set, and it's going to be handed out to the fullback.
He's hit
by 33. Breaks the hit. Gets to the outside.
Brought down around the 25-yard line.
The Indians inside the De Anza 25, brung down at the 23, and it's going to be first down and 10 for the Indians.
Looks like the Indians are really starting to get their offense started up. Let's see if the De Anza Dons can keep that pace going when they get the ball back.
Little chill in the air here as the sun has been down for quite some time now, and clouds starting to come into the forecast, but no rain as of yet. Hopefully the rain will hold off for the remainder of the contest. And here's the snap, quick screen to the outside, successful, and he's able to break away, and he's going to get inside the 10-yard line. And now it looks like the Indians are going to have first and goal. First and goal for the Indians.
If you look at that, Mr. Gill, we're not even 2 minutes into this next quarter.
And here's the snap. They're trying to push it into the end zone. No go. Taken down in behind the line of scrimmage. De Anza able to push them out just a little bit more, trying to maintain whatever defensive stand that they have deep in their own territory. And almost definitely you can guarantee that Coach Gaskell will be stacking the line with his biggest players trying to stop the run, as the run has been the effective mode of transportation on this drive for the Indians. And here's the snap. Snap go, and it's going to be a play action pass. And it's going to be ruled incomplete.
On the breakup, James Carter, number 2.
James Carter, yes, sir, on the breakup there. Several passes he's been able to break up on the defensive side of the ball.
So now we have another third down and short situation.
Third down and really short for the Indians. And here's the snap. They're going to try and run it again.
It to the outside, and it's a touchdown for the Indians.
Number 2 on the touchdown, able to get it in, an 8-yard touchdown run, and the Indians are the first on the board. (6-0) your score here. The Indians able to score with 9:47 remaining in the first half. The PAT is coming up here. And the kick is up. And it is good. So Swett able to get on the board first. It's a 7-0 lead. As the Dons look to take their offense and set their offense back up. Nice musical selection there by our Anza marching band. Number 85, Giancarlo Ugaz. I'm sorry, 81. Giancarlo Ugaz out to kick the kickoff. And not quite sure what the delay is. Excuse me, Swett to kick off.
Looks like the wind has blown the ball over. Kicker just trying to get the ball set so he can get a good kick out there.
Number 3 with the kickoff for the Swett Indians. And here it comes. Kick is up. And it's a deep kick almost to the end zone. Taken inside the 5 by Rito Gomez, who tries to get around one. Unable to. And he's hit hard and taken down at about the 16-yard line.
Looks like we had a blocking assignment malfunction or something out there. As 2 of the players just let the Indians run right by him. Got the Anza Dons down. The play is off. Markel has the ball. He's running up the sideline outside, and it looks like a gain of about 3 or 4.
Your headset's not working right. Okay, here we go. Anza with the ball. Here's the snap. And it looks like it's either going to be encroachment or false start. Let's see if it goes against Swett or Anza.
And the penalties against the Dons.
And false start on the Dons. That's going to back them up a little bit.
Repeat second down.
And now they're second and about 9. Pro set offense. And another start again. Let's see if they were drawn offside again. Were they drawn offside again? We're still waiting to check. And they were not. It's going to be encroachment on the Indians, so they're able to get that back to the original line of scrimmage. And here's the snap. And another flag on the third consecutive play. Again, either going to be encroachment or false start. And the Dons give back that yardage that they just gave, or they just got back. So giving it back away on the false start call.
Looks like we just had a coach call out the player responsible for both of the false starts. put in somebody different.
So here we go again. Let's try it one more time. And here's the snap. Whitten drops back to pass, screen to the right side, intended for Carter, incomplete.
Ball was just a little bit short ahead of him.
Yeah, that one wasn't even in his zip code, Jonathan. And here we are again.
3rd down and very, very long. Let's see if the Dons can make it happen.
And here's the snap. Whitten's trying to drop back to pass. He's rolling.
He pitches it.
Shovel pass to Carter. And no gain. Short gain of about a yard or so, and it's not going to be enough to get it done as the Dons are facing 4th down.
And the Dons look like they're going to go for it. I don't believe I see a kicker out there. Nope. And they're lining up in that pro set offense once again. James Carter in the backfield, no receivers.
And here's the snap. And it looks
they
like they're going to
stuff it
stick
and
with
they
the
push
run.
it.
They're going to keep pushing
And
it.
they get
And
the
he's still
first
on his
down.
feet, and it's a 1st down for Anza. Rambling, able to push their way through to a 1st down. Gutsy call by Coach Gaskell there to try and get the 1st down with a 4th and about 7 or 8. Able to convert and move the change for the Dons.
Once again, we see a little bit of that chippiness after the plays. Looks like these players are really into the game that they're playing.
You know, the later you get into the season, Jonathan, and the closer that you get to playoffs, the more intense the rivalries become because you know, especially for a senior, this could possibly be the last game that you play in high school athletic football. So, you know, they get intense, they want to win, and they want to go out on a good note. It's really good to see.
That's very true, Mr. Gill. Very, very true. That's why I think why we see our Dons fighting so hard tonight.
And here's the snap. They're going to try the same thing and push it up the middle.
Ooh,
and
it is
with the
still
same
going.
result, almost close to the 1st down. Gain of about 8.5 or 9 on the play. Looks like that's working. They're just moving the pile forward rugby style like the All Blacks.
And I think you're right, Mr. Gill. You know what they say, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And I think Coach D has just found John Swett's weakest link.
That's true. We definitely have some big kids, and it looks like they're calling a timeout to kind of regroup. Swett is. Regroup and say, hey, how do we try and stop these guys? These guys are starting to plow through us. Deanne's, on the other hand, looking to find out other strategies that will work. This one seems to be working so far. So you want to definitely keep with it. However, you got to have a plan B. So it looks like Coach Gaskell is talking to his team, trying to get them to figure out what they're going to do in case this has to change.
Timeout's over. See the players moving back into the field to play. Looks like we have a 2 and maybe 3 or 2 yards to go. Right around the 45-yard line.
And here's the snap. And it looks like number 10 for the Indians jumped off sides, but we'll see if he was encroached, if he was enticed. And he was not, as it looks like they're going to move the ball forward. Penalty is against John Swett.
Automatic first down for the Anza Dons.
Dons are right at about midfield, looking to answer Swett's touchdown earlier. And here they go. They run and move the pile again, and yet again it's working. Still up, and gain of about 4. Sticking with the scrum.
Oh, and the flag is thrown, Mr. Gill. Let's see who it's called on. Looking at the players, seems as if both teams are very tired from the very physical offenses that both teams are playing.
And it looks like it was a personal foul penalty on both teams, so those penalties will offset. So it's like it's never happened. So they get a second chance to do it again.
Well, you know what they say, Mr. Gill. Christmas only comes once a year.
This time it happened to come in October on Halloween, nonetheless. I think the gift that Coach Gaskell really wants is on the end zone there, on the south end of the field here. And here are the Indians looking to stop the Anza march. And here's the snap.
Third down and about 6 yards to go. The ball is snapped. He's rolling out, looking for a pass. And he stumbles. He gets rid of the ball.
And it looks like a great catch. Looking to see if they call it a catch, number 75. Not sure if he was eligible on that play.
I don't know, Mr. Gill. He wasn't eligible.
No, that's Lennox Poveda. He's an offensive lineman.
The quarterback left the pocket, though. It would have been all good.
He's in
and they're calling out the punt team.
So unsuccessful on the pass there. So Deanne's able to get it to about midfield, but no more. Now they're going to look to try and push the Indians back deep into Deanne's territory with the punt. Uga's back with the punt.
And we have another flag called.
And the flag backs the Dons up just a little bit. Punt team out on the field. Number 6 ready to receive the punt at about the Anza 25-yard line. Punt's up. Good punt. Going to take a Swett bounce right at about the 31, and that's where they're going to take over. Indians going to take over at the 31-yard line with just about 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Ball set down on about roughly the 31 or 32-yard line. Swett once again with a heavy offensive set.
And here's the snap.
Ball is pitched to the outside. They're running it up the left side. Cuts back inside. He's still moving. And he's brought down at around the 40-yard line.
Couple people in on that tackle. James Carter, Tariq James.
Also looked like Tyreek Armstrong got a hand in on him.
Still not enough to stop the run. Gain of about 7 on the play. Second and roughly 3 for the Indians. Right about midfield, they're going to spot the ball right at the 45-yard line. Third down for the Indians. And here's the snap. And a whistle on the play.
Looks like that offensive receiver might have been offsides.
Yep, and that's what it is. They're going to back him up. And what was a 3rd and 2 now turns into a 3rd and long for the Indians. Much more difficult for them to convert. The Dons really need to stop here after failing to advance the ball on their last offensive possession. And here's the snap. He drops back to pass. Has some room. Ball goes downfield, and it is incomplete. James Carter in on the coverage, and that will give the Indians a 4th down. Almost assured to have their punt team come in. I apologize. My esteemed colleague Jonathan Brown has informed me that it is in fact 3rd down.
I'm sorry. And we have a double handoff, trick play. He's up the sideline looking for a 1st down and a little bit more.
And he's got some daylight. And he is going to be brought down at the 20-yard line. You almost wish that was 4th down the previous play, right, Jonathan?
Yep. No almost in it.
1st down for the Indians. That run was about 60 yards. So 1st and goal as they are inside the 10. 1st and goal for the Indians. And they are looking to attack for their 2nd score of the match. 4:09 remaining in the 1st half. 7-0 the score in favor of the Indians.
You know, it's really interesting, Mr. Gill. Kennedy had a very similar beginning to the game like this. I'll be very interested to see if the Dons can make a 2nd half comeback like they have in the previous 2 wins.
We'll see. You know, the Dons looking to have a defensive stand here. They really need a defensive stand here to get their confidence back up. Definitely don't want to go into the locker room down any more than you have to be. Coach Gaskell definitely looking to work with his team. Having a bit of delay here, not quite sure what's going on. Teams are huddled up. And they're going to mark the football right at about the 15-yard line. I think that's maybe what they're talking about, to see how far he got. From our vantage point up here in the booth, I thought he got inside the 10, but it looks like that is not the case. And they're going to mark the ball at the 15-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians. Here's the snap. They're trying to run it forward. And they're going to be taken down after a gain of about 3.
Mr. Gill, was it just me or are the Indians running a wildcat formation right now?
Looks that way, Jonathan. You know, they're trying a couple of different things to make sure that they can capitalize on what they have going on. 7-0, really a really tight ball game right now. Swett in the red zone for the 2nd time.
See, it looks like they have the regular cue to quarterback back in the game now. Back to the heavy set.
And here's the snap. Snap goes, roll out to the right side. He's going to try and keep it.
Ooh,
Number 2 breaks to the outside, and it looks like.
Wait, hold on. Before any excitement, there was a holding.
Still waiting. They're celebrating a touchdown, but there's flags on the play.
You know, you always got to have your players be very disciplined. Those blocking in the backs and holding can really mean the difference between a winnable ball game and a losing ball game.
And it is, in fact, going to be a blocking violation, and that touchdown is going to come back. Break for the Dons here is now they have a chance to keep this game close. Have to have a defensive stop here, however. And that backed them up quite a bit. Ball is now Going to be spotted at about the 35-yard line. Still waiting on the official ball spot. 27-yard line.
Got all the coaches talking to the players after the demeaning play.
And I'm not sure if that was a timeout. I didn't see the timeout official from the signal from the official.
It looks like the clock is stopped, Mr. Gill.
Maybe it's an official's timeout as they discuss what just took place.
There does seem to be some deliberation in the group.
Speaking of deliberation, I'd like to give a shout out to our Law Academy as they're preparing for mock trials coming up. And it looks like they're done with their conference, and we're going to be back to football here. Swett looking to get the ball into the end zone. Anza caught a break there on that touchdown that was called back. They really need to get a defensive stop here. And here's the snap. Back to pass. Pass goes up. And it's going to be caught by number 3, and that's going to be indisputable. That's a touchdown there. So Swett able to put it into the end zone on the pass to number 3. And with 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining, that brings the score to John Swett 13, Anza 0.
Given the circumstances of this game, I would not be surprised to see the Swett coach try to do something tricky on this play to make the game even more hard to tie up.
And it looks like they are going to, in fact, go for the extra point. And the point is up.
And it's blocked.
And it is blocked. Great defensive play there by the Dons. That definitely keeps them in this game. It is a 2-score ball game. And so Coach Gaskell is going to take his team back to the huddle really quick as they line up for the kickoff and try and figure out what they need to do to get their offense going late here in the second quarter. Just like to take this time to remind you guys that you can watch our broadcast on YouTube. You can also watch our broadcast on High School Cube. And our web address there at High School Cube is www.highschoolcube.com/DAHS. And you can take a look at our broadcast there and also watch our broadcast live on the web. And we're getting ready for the kickoff. Rito Gomez back to receive the kick. And the kick goes up.
It's a little short. He fields it. Going upfield. Is he hit? And the player is down.
And he's hit pretty hard. We apologize there for that momentary video glitch, but we are back in action here.
Ball looks like it's down on about the 40, the 38-yard line.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Dons coming up, as they are going to look to try and get a score going into the halftime period. They did elect to kick, so they will receive the ball at the beginning of the second half. So they would love to get a score on the board and get a chance to get the ball back. Just under 3 minutes in the second quarter. And here's the snap. Witten drops back to pass.
Ball's up.
Ball's up. And it is intercepted.
Did they rule him down?
Looking to see what the ruling on the field is, and they are, in fact, calling it an interception. So just that quick, the momentum shifts, and the ball goes back to the Indians with 2 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the contest. I'm sorry, in the first half of the contest.
The quarterback, sometimes you just got to buckle up and take the hit.
All right, so the Indians ready to go. And here's the run, and they're going to take it over and end up with a gain of a few. And the Indians right about ready to open up the game going into the second half here. And here's the snap and run play. And the run is going to be brought down well past the first down marker. So that's going to move the chains for the Indians.
Looks like a gain of about 15 yards or so.
While they're moving the chains, we'd like to mention a special part of our broadcast today. We're taking part in Domestic Violence Week. Okay, standing against domestic violence. All our players are wearing purple to take a stand against domestic violence. If you'd like to know more about preventing domestic violence, you can visit their website at www.nomore.org. As the Indians take another run and able to gain another first down, the Indians now starting to be able to establish their run game. Not quite sure what the Dons are going to do to try and change that, but they've got to do something fairly quickly here.
Looks like we're having some changes in the linebacker positions.
First and 10 for the Indians.
Player number 22, Rito Gomez, is going in at linebacker. Also, Markel Witten coming back in to cornerback.
Swett inside the 25 at about the 23. Quick pass out, and they're going to wrap him up, but he is going to be able to get a yard or two. Taken down right at about the 20. And the Swett Indians are right at the edge of the red zone with just about a minute and 10 seconds remaining in the second half. They are within field goal range, so Anza needs to do something to get them out of field goal range to try and salvage what's left of this quarter, come back in the second half, and try and put some points on the board.
Once again, we see Swett aligning in a pro-style heavy-set offense. The ball is snapped.
And he's going to roll to the right. In a little bit of trouble. There's a flag on the play. Flag on the play right as he was backing up to get out of trouble. They're calling the play there. We're going to see what the call is. And it is going to be against the Indians. And that's going to back them up.
Personal foul, face mask against the defense.
45.8 seconds remaining in the first half. That's going to push them back to about the 36-yard line. So they are now out of field goal range. 31-yard line, sorry. So they are just at the edge of field goal range. However, I don't see Swett trying a field goal in this particular situation. Do you, Jonathan?
Nope. In my opinion, it looks like they're going for it. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. This might even be a Hail Mary, Mr. Gill.
And here's the snap, shotgun formation, plenty of courage. And he is going for the end zone. And Markel Whitten is there, but it is
no good.
No good, incomplete. And that's 32 seconds, 33 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And second down here for the Indians. They've got time for a couple of more plays before the end of the half. Do you go for the end zone again, or do you put down a run and go into the locker room and talk about how you're going to keep this lead, or do you get aggressive?
Mr. Gill, I believe any unauthoritative play by Swett is going to give the Anza the confidence to think that they're scared of that defense.
And they're coming up here for the snap. And here's the snap. And he drops back to pass. He's going to try and keep it. Rolls to his left, breaks one tackle, gets to the outside, passes the first and hit hard on the outside. Almost looked like he was hit out of bounds. Not quite sure where that hit came from, but boy, it's going to hurt him tomorrow morning.
When the Dons in the house sound like boom. Didn't know if anybody else had heard that before. I just thought it was appropriate. Saw a few flags drawn on that play.
And
is their quarterback out the game?
And it is going to be against the Anza, and they're calling that a first down. Not quite sure what that penalty was. Looked like a personal foul.
Mr. Gill, maybe the refs think the quarterback just got hit a little bit too hard.
That's football, right? Hopefully it wasn't late, but the refs seem to think there was something not quite right about that hit, so the penalty is assessed. But it looks like he's still in the game, so he's still trucking. This will more than likely be the last play of the first half. 25 seconds remaining. And they're still trying to figure out exactly where to spot the ball.
Looks like the ball is placed at around the 11 or 12-yard line.
And here we go. Finally ready for the snap. And drops back to pass. Number 2 facing some pressure, trying to go to the right side. Rolls right, throws to the end zone, and not in anybody's vicinity. The closest to the ball was number 38 for the Dons.
Incomplete pass, so they're going to have to stop the clock.
Callie Ponder.
Swett the opportunity to possibly run off with 1 or 2 more plays.
Okay, so looks like Swett might have a chance for one more play. Second down for the Indians.
Looks like we have a Anza player coming out with a possible concussion on the sideline.
And here we go. Here's the snap. 2 drops back to pass. Pass across the middle, tipped and incomplete.
Once again, James Carter on the tip. Gill, he's playing one heck of a game tonight.
Yes, they are. And the Dons still in this ball game. You know, they're definitely not out this ball game. 13-0 going into the second half. Definitely a feat that can be overcome. The Dons just have to decide what steps they need to take to make sure that they can put some points on the board in the second half and stop this John Swett running attack. And here's the snap. And two's going to drop back for the pass, going to the end zone again. And it looks like he's going to be successful. And that is going to be a touchdown.
Tariq James on the attempt to stop the ball. It's not quite close enough.
And 19-0, the score with 3.5 seconds remaining in the first half. So it looks like they're going to attempt the extra point. Number 2 to hold. And the kick is up, and it is no good. Wide left. So barring any extra special plays here on the kickoff return, it looks like the Dons will go into the locker room down 19-0. Still a ball game that's within reach, but definitely a way for them to have to look and see, hey, how can we get some points on the board and how can we stop the attack? Number 2 able to pretty much pass and do what he needs to do to move the football. So maybe a little changes by Coach Gaskell as he goes into the locker room into the second half. All right, here, so we are ready for the kickoff. And here's the kick, up and over. And taken by Anza.
He fell down and his knee touched the ground. It's going to be the end of the second quarter, and we are going into halftime now.
Yes, sir, that is going to be it. So now we are going to go into the halftime period with the score being the John Swett Indians 19, your Anza Dons 0. We're going to be right back for the second half right after these messages. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second half of Anza football. I am Ben Gill along with my co-host Jonathan Brown as the Anza Dons are facing a deficit of 19-0 as they get ready for the second half. And here we go as we begin the second half of football here. Swett to kick off to Anza. They're looking to receive as they opted to kick in the first half. And here's the kick. Kick goes up. Kick is taken deep by James Carter. He's going to try and get to the outside. He's got a window. He's got one man to beat it. He's not going to beat him.
Check,
but is able to get way back into Anza territory, nearly to midfield. Awesome return by the Dons. Definitely the way they want to start off the second half.
Definitely the way they want to start out the second half. That was one heck of a return. Also, Mr. Gill, that was by Rito Gomez, by the way, not James Carter.
Thank you for that clarification there. And here we go. 1st and 10 for the Dons.
White set receivers, and it looks like the defense might have a flag called on them.
And it is going to be a penalty on the defense, and that's going to push the Dons up to the 49-yard line right here at midfield.
You know, all these penalties being called on Halloween night, it's very suiting. Both of these teams are getting a whole lot of free goodies.
And here's the pitch. He's trying to get to the outside.
Has
Has
he
a
blocks him
hole.
on the outside, and he's in for the first down and a little bit more.
First down, Anza.
That was a great run by sophomore fullback number 43, James Stern. Looked like a gain of about 7 or 8 yards.
Awesome run there by the Dons. And here's the snap, and it's blown dead. Flag on the play. All right. And looks like that's going to be, they're going to mark the ball right dead at midfield.
What's the call?
Not sure there. I think maybe they, not
Illegal
quite sure
formation
there.
or something?
Maybe an incorrect spot, but it looks like it's 1st and 10 for the Dons, and he's going to drop back and pass, rolling right into a little bit of trouble, dumps it off. Pass is, looks like they're calling it incomplete.
Yeah, it didn't look like he had possession of it when he came down with it.
Nearly intercepted by the Indians.
Looks like quarterback Richie Kerberson is getting to show what he can do as quarterback. Seems as if they've put Markel in a receiver position.
What do you think went on in the locker room over, we'll continue this conversation after this play, but what do you think went on in the locker room over the halftime period? As Kerberson gets under center, drops back to pass, has time, ball gets downfield.
He puts his head down and he tries to inch up, maybe a gain of a yard from the original position. But in the locker room, let me tell you, Coach G, he's a real motivational person, and he knows how to get this team going. And for the past few games, we've had really slow starts in the first half, and he probably alluded to that while in the locker room. But me knowing Coach G personally, I know he sold something to those kids, said something that really lifted their spirits and got them motivated. And if we look in here, it seems as if there's a small delay on the field as the players move out to the snap. Richard Kerberson under the center once again. We've got 3 eligible receivers.
He drops back to pass. He's going to the right side.
Oh, and it's picked off by number 21, John Swett.
And he's got a blocker in number 13, but the blocker doesn't do his job, and he's going to be brought down at the 37-yard line of John Swett, and not exactly how Coach Gaskell wanted his first offensive series in the second half to go, Jonathan.
No, not at all what he wanted to go for. Thought maybe a change up in the quarterback position would screw with the John Swett's defense, but I'm guessing that assumption didn't go out too well as Richard has just thrown an interception to John Swett. John Swett's going to field the ball at about the 39-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Indians.
Defense seems to be running a 4-3.
And number 2 is going to hand off. He's going to try and get it to the other side. He's got some room, and he's going to push ahead.
Going to have to intercept with that. There's a bit of it seems as if one of the refs has called a flag.
That is enough for the first down pending the flag.
Looks like the flag was called against Swett. They're going to have the first down taken back.
Penalties are a continuing problem for both teams. And here's the snap. And 2 drops back, hands off to the
Breaks
right
a tackle
side.
and
Breaks
another
a
one.
tackle, and he's got another room. And he's able to get to the outside, number 6, and going to be taken down. James Carter in on the tackle, and that is going to be a first down. And it looks like 6 is having some trouble getting up.
Looks like a possible knee injury, you know. Nobody likes those. Player can't get up.
And he's a little slow to get up. Looks like he's gotten to his feet and looking for a hand, and he's going to be okay.
Trainer comes out to the field, doesn't seem like he's needed. He's back off to the sideline. Number 6 is able to walk back to the huddle.
The Indians on the 3rd straight possession into Don's territory, looking to build the lead. Already ahead 19-0 as we begin the 3rd quarter. 9 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. And here's the snap. And 2 hands off to number 10, who finds a break up the middle. And another break, and he's going to break away, and he's going to get inside the 5.
Stop short
to
of the
about the
touchdown
2-yard line.
by James Carter and Khalid Pendleton.
First and goal coming up for Swett, as Anza not able to stop the running game.
Primary defense, the front line seems to have something going on with them.
And first and goal here for the Indians coming up. And here's the snap to number 2, who hands off to number 10, who tries to push his way in.
Maybe a gain of a yard or so on the play.
Got to about the 3-foot line, so it's going to be second and goal for the Indians. All right, so the Indians looking to put the ball into the end zone. Anza definitely looking to prevent it. They have not won a game at home this season. Looking to change that here at home tonight. But they have an uphill battle as Swett faces first and goal, and plenty of flags on the play there, blown dead. And we're going to take a look to see what the flag is.
Seems as if the flag was against the defense, putting the offense very, very, very close to that goal line.
And here's the snap. And it again goes to number 10, Dog Pile, and he's going to be short yet again.
Stuffed real short of the goal line. Looks like Diaz is really trying to put a stop to this running game.
And third down and a yard and a half for the Indians. And they're piling everybody up on the line, including number 10. And it's going to be number 2 trying to keep it. And it's going to be denied, number 38.
Khalid Ponder on the big hit to number 2. That's how
A
the
huge defensive stop by the Dons there. Huge. And they're facing a 4th down.
It looks like they're going to go ahead and go for the kick.
And here it up. The kick is up.
And it's good.
And it's good. And they are able to put a field goal on the board, and that will bring the score to 22-0. So the Indians able to put it into through the uprights, and Dean's able to prevent them from getting 6. However, they are able to come away from that drive with 3 points, and the lead is now 22 points, 22 unanswered points, as Anza is yet to put points on the board.
Mr. Gill, looks like there's going to be a correction on that. The referees just signaled to our scoreboard keeper. Looks like the lead's going to be 26-0.
All right, thank you for that correction, Jonathan. Apparently they called that last play a touchdown. So 7 instead of the 3. So lead of 26 by the Indians. Definitely an uphill battle now for the Dons. And they're back to receive the kick as Swett kicks off from the 25-yard line, number 55. And here's the kick. The kick is up. Going to be taken at about the 20. And he's got a bit of a window, still up on his feet, and is able to get himself past midfield. So Anza will start their run, their offensive run. Number 22 there on the return. Rito Gomez, I believe. And the Anza Dons are going to start their offensive series in Indian territory. 1st and 10 for the Dons at the 49-yard line. And flags on the play. Right at the snap.
Looked like one heck of a play that was about to happen, too. Seems like the flag's going to be called on the defense.
And it is going to be called on the defense, so the Dons able to get a little bit of help. It's going to move them up to the 44-yard line. 5-yard penalty there. And here's the snap. Kirbyson back, hands the ball off, and to number 48. And Kenneth Wilson. And he's able to ramble for a couple of yards. And we're going to be looking at a 2nd and about 8 for the Dons as they make some offensive changes. Number 87 comes into the game. And here's Kirbyson with the snap. And he almost loses. He does lose the football. And number 99 able to come up with it. Number 48 there losing the football. Kenneth Wilson. And Swett able to come up with the football. Costly turnover for the Dons. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 43-yard line. Indians look to improve in their lead, and the Dons really, at this point, need a defensive stop. Number 2 back, hands off to number 24. He gets over to the right side, and he's able to come about 7 yards, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3 for John Swett.
Looks like John Swett starting to put in some of their secondary and tertiary players. I think John Swett believes that they have this game in the bag.
Here's the snap, and ball's handed off up the middle, and he's still on his feet pushing the pile forward, and that's going to put them into De Anza territory. Gain of about 2 on the play.
Looking at 2nd down and maybe a yard. Oh, never mind. 1st down.
And they are going to move the chains. 1st down, Indians. De Anza really having trouble with the running game this evening. Not able to find a defensive set that's able to contain the run attack from the Indians.
Outside full of blockers, and they bring him down. Looks like he got a gain of maybe 8 yards or so.
So we are looking at 2nd and about a yard.
Looks like we have an equipment timeout by one of the referees.
They're going to pick it up and clean the ball off. Looks like the ball is pretty dirty. They're going to wipe it off. Maybe it's just some moisture on the football. No rain. We haven't had any rain here over the past few hours. It was rainy earlier today, but no rain so far to kind of ruin our game. But there is a lot of moisture on the field as we reach dew point. And here's the snap to number 6. And he's going to try and take it to the outside, cuts inside, and it's going to be caught up. Still plenty of room for the 1st down, and they're going to move the chains yet again as De Anza continues to have trouble with the Swett running attack. Indians looking to, again, pad their lead a little bit. De Anza really needs to stop. And here's the snap. And number 2 hands off. Push up the middle and gain of about a yard. Number 10 on the run. Number 10 on the run there. Jonathan, what do you think that coach is thinking of right now in the huddle? What do you think he's thinking of to try and stop the Swett run attack?
Try to stop the Swett run attack. He's really just got to figure out which players are willing to play football right now. The team's down, 0 points on the board. Everybody's starting to get really depressed. Team morale starts going down, and the players might start thinking too much or not following assignments that they've been given. So he really just needs to find out who's going to set that edge and who's going to put the big boy pads on to stop these attacks.
And number 2 drops back to pass, fires for the end zone, and has number 12 there, however, just out of his fingertip reach. Incomplete pass. That could have burned the Dons there if he were able to make that completion.
Did he make the completion?
He did not.
Seems as if the team has moved up.
He did not. I saw the ball hit the ground. And they are saying he made the completion. Strange. From our vantage point up here in our TV cameras, we saw the ball hit the ground. But now they're going to try and push the ball in.
And it's good for a Swett touchdown.
And that will be a touchdown for John Swett. As Swett able to capitalize on yet another offensive possession, pretty much able to run rampant over the De Anza defense. And at some point, De Anza needs to come up with a strategy to help stop the bleeding as they face a 32-point deficit going into the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Here's the extra point attempt. And the kick is up, and it is no good. It was good. Kick is good. So 33-0 the score here. Your De Anza Dons have an uphill battle to battle back from a 33-point deficit. Right at 2 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter, we'd like to welcome you to this broadcast of the De Anza Dons Television Network. I am Ben Gill here with Jonathan Brown, and this is De Anza Football. We'd like to remind you to take a look at our broadcast. There's several ways you can see our broadcast. You can watch them live on the web at www.highschoolcube.com/DA Dons. And you can also watch our tape delay broadcast in their entirety on our YouTube channel at youtube.com and search for DAHS Media. The Indians are ready to kick off. 2 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And the Dons back to receive. Deepest part of the field. And here's the kick. Short kick. Taken on the fly. And he's going to be horse collared. And there's the flag. Saw that coming as he was taken down horse collar style. And it's almost certainly going to be a penalty on John Swett. And yes, it is. So that will give the Dons a little bit better starting position moving forward. However, this is a crucial offensive series for the Dons. They need to get the ball in the end zone this offensive series. If they don't, the task of overcoming that in the fourth quarter will be almost insurmountable.
De Anza Dons lining up with a pro set.
And here's the snap. Kirbyson goes back, and he's hit as the ball goes forward, and they're going to call it incomplete. He took a pretty hard hit. His arm was moving forward, and the referees call the ball dead, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Dons. Here we go. And here's the snap. Kirbyson drops back to pass. Rush, he tries to shovel it. And the ball is picked up. They're going to rule that an incomplete pass as well. And a little bit of confusion here on what's supposed to happen.
The ref is telling me what to do.
Trying to figure out what's going on the field here. Trying to figure out what the delay is. Ball is spotted at the 41-yard line. Coach Gaskell is out on the field trying to figure out what's going on.
Daddy, help me carry it over there.
Coach Gaskell in conference with the referees. Not quite sure what's going on here. Maybe something having to do with the clock or something. Okay, it looks like we're back to the action here. I'll try and get you guys an update on what was going on. But in the meantime, Curtison drops back to pass. Complete to James, but he is hit. And when he is hit, James Carter, the ball comes out, but he did not have possession when that happened. So they are calling it an incomplete pass.
Third down and
tough
10
hit.
to go for the Dons.
The Dons really need this third down conversion. They can't afford, they cannot afford to lose another possession, especially this deep in their territory. And got a whistle. Not quite sure what the whistle is. And here's the last snap of the third quarter. And shotgun formation, and it's a punt. And the punt goes deep, takes a bounce. And Swett is able to hold on to it. They're able to hold on to it. Looks like number 6 able to come there and fall on top of it.
Swett did a real good job of recovering that ball after the fumble.
They did, and that'll do it for the third quarter. So going into the final quarter, the score is the John Swett Indians 33 and the De Anza Dons 0. We will be right back after these messages on the De Anza Dons television network. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final quarter of De Anza football. John Swett with the ball after the Dons failed to score yet again. And here's the snap. Snap goes to number 10. He's going to take it to the right side, try and turn the corner, and he's going to get positive yardage, still up on his feet, able to fight his way to about a 7-yard gain. Between the combination of number 10 and number 2 for Swett, De Anza having a really tough time with the run, as John Swett able to put 33 points on the board.
Let me tell you, that fullback, number 10 on John Swett's team, he is playing like a beast tonight. There's been at least 3 people to tackle him on almost every single play that he has received the ball.
And here we are again, second and about 3 for Swett. And here's the snap. Number 2 hands off to looks like number 24.
Tackled for a loss. Good job by the Dons defense.
Good defensive play there by the Dons, able to read the run. Third and about 6 or 7 for the Indians. This needs to be a defensive stop for the Dons. They need to get the momentum. Not a whole bunch of time left. About 10 and a half minutes left in the game. Down by 33 points. They really need a chance to get the ball back and do something on the offensive side of the football. And here's the snap. Quarterback's going to roll to the right. He's going to keep it, cut inside, and it's going to be enough for the first down. That's going to be enough. Number 2 is going to move the chains. And it's going to be a first down for John Swett.
Seems like we have an injured Indians player.
I'm also hearing that we might have a flag on the play.
Everybody on the field proceeding to take a knee. Looks like team trainers are coming out to take a look at him.
And it looks like he's back up and going to be helped off of the field. That's number 4. Let's hope he's okay. And the Indians look to move the ball right at the 45-yard line. The Anza looking to have a defensive series here where they need to stop the football. They need to stop the football. They need to stop the run game. Time running out, under 10 minutes left in the contest. Here's the snap by number 2, hands off to number 6, tries to cut to the outside, has some room and gets the ball into De Anza territory. And that's going to be really close to a first down.
And the chains are moving. Looks like the run was good enough to get a first down.
Another first down for the Indians as they begin to march down the field. The Anza looking for any advantage they can get to stop this run attack. Not successful so far. And number 2 drops back, and he drops the ball, picked up by the fullback. It looked like a muff handoff, but maybe not. And not a whole bunch to be gained there, maybe a yard or 2. So it'd be second and about 9 for the Indians. We like to remind you guys to check us out on YouTube. Just search DAHS Media, and you'll be able to find all our games, as well as other De Anza events. Number 2 under center, and here's the snap. He hands off to number 6, who gets to the left side, trying to break off a tackle, able to take 2 men with him, and it's going to be enough for another Indians first down.
So, Mr. Gill, to me, it looks like Swett has run the same play for the last three plays, which leaves me wondering what's going on with the right side of the defensive line on the Don's defensive line.
You know, you're right, Jonathan, but I mean, I'm pretty sure if I'm John Swett's head coach and I find something that's working, I'm not necessarily going to fix it, you know, if it's not broken. So the Dons need to find a way to plug those holes. And here's a pitch to number 20, and he's going to be horse collar down.
No, Mr. Gill, no horse collar.
24.
I don't see a flag.
24 on the run there, and there is no flag on the play, so it looks like it was a clean tackle. Number 24 being taken down by number 24.
What a coincidence.
And here the Indians come up. And here's a snap. And it's another run play. And number 24 breaks a couple tackles and is finally brung down with the help of 3 Dons. Number 29 and number 50 both in on the tackle.
Gotta call one of the players back. Hopefully they won't throw a personal foul on Manu Lani.
Doesn't look like there's a flag being thrown. I can imagine tensions being quite high, seeing as the Dons really wanted this game to find out where they were going to be seated in the playoffs. This may come as a tough loss. We're inside of 6 minutes, 5 minutes and 59 seconds remaining. And it looks like number 6 is going to take it again to the outside, break another couple of tackles, and it's going to be enough for yet another first down for the Indians. So here's the snap upcoming. First down again for Swett. Here's a snap. Handoff to number 24. He's not going to get a whole bunch this time. Not a whole bunch on the run there. Maybe a gain of a yard or so, but they are deep in Anza territory, and right now they're just trying to eat up as much clock as they can. But it would be safe to say at this point, if they're able to get into the end zone at this point, you can pretty much say that time is not on the Don side as far as being able to work themselves back from this deficit.
What we really need to see to change the momentum of this game is a turnover. I can't really think of anything else that would make this game, the outcome of this game, happen any differently.
And Swett again sticking with the run game, and again is successful as they are able to put positive yardage up, a short gain on that play there. And it looks like it's going to be third down for Swett. Ball is marked right about the 6-yard line. Number 2 under center again. They wave it off. Something's not right with the setup. And And we're finally ready for the snap here, number 2. And here's the snap. He's going to keep it, roll to the right, looking to the end zone. He's going to keep it, turns the corner, and waiting for the official signal from the referee. And
is there a flag on the play?
Not quite sure what's going on. They haven't called a touchdown yet. So he may have either went out of bounds just before the pylon or not quite sure. Trying to look and see what they're going to spot the ball as. And they are going to say he went out of bounds just before he broke the plane. And it's going to be 1st and goal at about the 1-yard line for the Indians.
Looks like we have another injury on the field.
And it looks like there's an injury on the field.
Number 48, Don's Kenneth Wilson, is on the ground. Trainers seem to be helping him off the field.
And here we go, back to the action. And here's the snap. They're trying to push it in. And still no signal for touchdown. So it doesn't look like they were successful. And as the Dons look towards the end of this ball game, what do you think that coach is going to be telling his kids in the locker room after the game, Jonathan?
He's going to tell them that the game turned out bad. I mean, you win some, you lose some, but it seems like there were some major issues with the defensive end and linebacker positions. So I assume that that's where he's going to focus most of his attention.
And here we go. Here's the snap. And they're going to try and kick it up, and it's going to be good. And that's a field goal attempt. So 36-0 is the score with 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining in the contest. So Anza handed a tough defeat here as we are inside 45 seconds. Blanked out 36-0. Jonathan, what do you think that coach is looking for going into playoffs?
He's going to be looking for a more put-together team. Everybody out there tonight did their jobs, but that's not the only problem. There were people trying to do other people's jobs as well. When you get issues like that or miscommunications, and especially on the penalties, which really killed both of these teams tonight, Anza more than John Swett. So he really just needs to make sure that the team is tightened up for the rest of the season.
And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen, as they decide to wind the clock down. And your final score here at Anza Stadium is the John Swett Indians 36 and the Anza Dons 0, as the Dons are handed a crushing defeat going into playoffs and hopefully able to rebound next week. Jonathan, any parting thoughts as we end our broadcast here?
Well, As a player, I'm real sad to see the 36-0 loss. However, I'm hoping that we can bounce back really well next week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for us. We are the Anza Dons Television Network, and we will see you next time as we bring you live Anza football. We will see you next week.